Hey guys, you always hear from politicians how we need to build on our democracy. We need to keep our healthy democracy alive.
Democracy.
But the actual question should come up to our mind is the United States actually a democracy? The answer would be pretty clearly no, considering how the US government works and is shaped up to work. Let's just look at all the branches of the United States government: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. Starting with the legislative branch, the Congress. You have the upper house, which is the Senate, and the lower house, which is the House of Representatives. Now, it's true the lower house, the House of Representatives, is representative of democracy because all the representatives are democratically elected. However, take a look at the Senate. Originally, it was intended to be made up of 2 people from each state who were decided on by the state legislatures. Definitely not an act of democracy. The citizens did not get to elect who their senators were. It was up to the state to retain their sovereignty. Now let's take a look at the executive branch. That is clearly not a sign of democracy. The president is chosen by electors who cast their vote depending on which way their citizens vote, but it is not done by the popular vote. Meaning that if all the big states, including California, New York, Texas, vote for one person, that does not mean that that person will be the next president, because democracy does not decide who the president of the United States is. It's the Electoral College, and it was built against the notion of democracy. Now let's take a look at the judicial branch. That is the easiest one to say. That's definitely not a democracy. None of the Supreme Court judges are appointed by the president, who himself is not democratically elected. Now, how does that translate to real life? Well, in 2000, Al Gore had the popular vote but didn't become president because the United States is not a democracy. George Bush had more electoral votes, meaning he became the next president of the United States. In the Congress of the United States, the Senate is meant to stop any forms of House populism where the democratically elected representatives don't get their way in every matter they want. That was, of course, up until the 17th Amendment, which made the Senate into a cocktail party rather than protecting the sovereignty of the states. Then the undemocratically appointed judges get to rule out any unconstitutional laws made by the Congress. So yes, it's true that one area of the government is representative of democracy, but there are all these checks from undemocratic ways to make sure that the rights of all individuals are protected. And there's a reason why. Under a democracy, the rights of all people regarding any issue is under attack. Whether it's taxation or gun control or any other issue. If you look at today, under democracy, we must have an assault weapon ban since the majority of Americans support it. That being said, it's unconstitutional, and the government's role is to make sure that the rights of gun owners are respected. The same thing with a progressive tax, but of course democracy had its way. Certain people pay more taxes at a higher rate than others. Now if that's not enough, let's just look at what the founding fathers had to say about democracy. James Madison said, "Democracy is the most vile form of government. Democracies have ever been spectacles of turbulence and contention, have ever found incompatible with personal security or the rights of property, and have in general been as short in their lives as they have been violent in their deaths." Alexander Hamilton, "We are a republic. Real liberty is never found in despotism or in the extremes of democracy." Benjamin Rush, "A simple democracy is the devil's own government." The second president of the United States, John Adams, "Democracy will soon degenerate into an anarchy. Such an anarchy that every man will do what is right in their own eyes, and no man's life or property or reputation or liberty will be secure. And every one of these will soon mold itself into a system of subordination, faulty moral virtues and intellectual abilities, all the powers of wealth, beauty, wit, and science, to the wanton pleasures, the capricious will, and the abominable cruelty of one or very few." The third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, "Democracy is nothing more than mob rule, where 51% of the people may take away the rights of the other 49%. That's exactly what democracy is. A scenario where 51% of the people can take rights away from the other 49%. That could be translated into the 99 or 1%. It doesn't matter. Rights come as individuals, and all individuals have right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. No democracy can take that away because these rights are inalienable." Now, if all this is not enough to convince you that the United States is not a democracy, then either you're lying to yourself or you're just plain stupid. And a democracy is 2 wolves and a lamb voting on what to eat for lunch. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video on why the United States is not a democracy. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you want similar content. I'll catch you very soon on the new video. See you.